which you may not find in any of the book. This topic I have developed based on optic devices. Amit, I think you have to keep your mic off because the noise is coming. Only you keep your mic on when I say Amit. Fine. Okay, now it's okay. The important topic is LIDAR. LIDAR, where it stands for light, imaging, detection, and ranging. It is somewhat familiar to radar. RADAR. Radar is radio detection and ranging. This is not a topic which has come just in a day. Since last 50 years, people are working to develop this. What is difference between radar? Radar is basically used to find ranging, and it is used in military and defense and aeronautics since last many years. So radar is a mature subject, but as far as LIDAR is concerned, it is not matured yet, but it's a upcoming subject, upcoming research area. Let me make you conversant with this word LIDAR. If you see drones, they are sometimes being used for LIDARs are being sometimes used for scanning, for imaging, for photography, for penetration, deep penetration, and they are, if you see the frequency spectrum, the difference between now Siddhi has come. Okay, now the difference between radar and LIDAR is that radar works in radio range, whereas LIDAR operates in optical range. So the first slide which I have shown you, the frequency spectrum, microwave is up to 30 gigahertz, and from 30 gigahertz onwards it comes out to be millimetric wave, 300 gigahertz, and then terahertz up to 10 gigahertz, and then from 10 gigahertz to upper band it comes as IR, infrared, and the other band is optical. Frequently I talk about this frequency spectrum. So by this time you must be conversant about this topic. Fine. What is spectrum? If you want to see, I will show you the slide. Where is that spectrum? I think it has gone somewhere. Okay. So this slide is frequently talked about: microwave, terahertz, IR, visible, and other ultraviolet which are not being used. So right now this terahertz spectrum is not used at all. So ITU is a organization which generally uses and tells about the spectrum utility. Recently you must be hearing in daily newspapers that there is a spectrum issue. Government of India wants that the Jio, Vodafone, etc., they should purchase that spectrum and they should switch over to 5G. But because of cost and other parameters, they are reluctant to pay that much huge amount of money which Government of India wants from the these companies: Airtel, Vodafone, Jio, Reliance, etc., etc. So spectrum is very easy. It is need to be conserved, because you neither can increase spectrum nor you can decrease. Similarly, if you talk about geo orbit, that is also you need to conserve, because a lot of satellites will come, but geosynchronous orbit is only single one and everyone want to operate in that. So these two important parameters, one is frequency spectrum, another geosynchronous orbit use, they need to be conserved. Efficient utility must be there. That's why you must have heard that reusable frequency reuse is there, especially in cellular. Most of the people, they are making use of frequency up to certain distance, and then again they want to reuse it. Fine. So that is the era that they want to conserve the spectrum. Similar case will be there in geosynchronous orbit, that throughout worldwide people are using satellite, and the satellite operates at geosynchronous 36,000 kilometer away, and reason being only one orbit is there, which is revolving with respect to earth in a synchronism manner. So everyone will be installing those satellites in that orbit. So these two things are very important. One is frequency spectrum and second is use of geosynchronous orbit, so that throughout worldwide every people, every world will be using these two features, two facilities at its optimum value. That is what is required. So let us see today how best we can discuss about these topics. Today I want to discuss something about LIDAR. It is a optical device. We will see how LIDAR works and what are the utility of LIDARs. As I said, now I think 27 people have joined, so I can talk about the subject. My today's talk will be focusing on LIDARs. As I rightly said, that LIDAR is light imaging, detection and ranging. Elon Musk has tried to make use of these LIDARs in its automotive or hand-free or the driverless cars he has developed. So optimum utilization of LIDAR he is using. Let us see how best he is making use of these LIDARs. So optimal utilization of LIDAR, definitely these are optical devices. So optical devices operates at optical frequency. That is why these LIDARs, they operate at IR, sub-IR and optical. Now when I say IR, sub-IR and optical frequency or visible frequency, you must be able to now visualize the frequency spectrum chart, which is the first slide I am showing right from the first class. It means you must be familiar with that word known as frequency spectrum. The moment I say frequency spectrum, you must be able to visualize that one is, first is microwave range, then comes to terahertz range, then comes to IR range, then comes to optical spectrum, and then comes to ultraviolet. So far the spectrum which lies in microwave range has been optimally utilized, but millimeter wave still few people are making use of. So few radars, few communication systems have been developed in a millimetric range also, but from 300 gigahertz to 10 gigahertz is totally lying vacant. So ITU wishes to allocate that particular band for 6G. 6G is yet to come. 5G, of course, Europe and US countries has emerged out, but 6G is yet to come. So now you must be able to say what is 5G, what is 6G. 5G means maximum the data rate will be up to 10 Gbps. But if you want to go beyond 10 Gbps, then you need to see about 6G, so terabytes, because as we said in the previous classes that if we want to operate a optical link, we can go up to 15 Tbps. So that is a huge speed. That's what we are looking for. Now let us come back to the topic LiDAR. It is a sensor composed of two parts. One is emission, another is reception. So emission we have seen making use of lasers. I have shown you the diagram that how the photon emissions can be held, can be taken place. I made use of SiO2 substrate, silver ground plate, and above that silicon dielectric resonator, and then I used a laser through waveguide. The laser photons track to semiconductor material. The semiconductor material will produce electron and positron, and this electron and positron will have bunch or cloud or large amount of electrons and positron generations. They will oscillate at the frequency which is known as surface plasmon resonance, and these surface plasmon resonance frequency will excite silicon DR, and silicon DR will be able to again generate the radiated field. That is how a emission takes place. So this is a phenomena of either LED or you can say photo diode, or you can say photo antennas in wireless communication, wireless optical communication, and the replication part of this will be a reception. The photons generated in free space must be received. For this today I like to tell you one example how this light is received. So the light is received in such a way that it becomes a detector. So it becomes a detector. I have taken excellent example of detector as this. Amit, are you able to read this word? What is this word?
Futuristic retinal implant optical antenna.
Excellent. So I want to discuss about this topic before I actually go to LiDAR, because as I said, LiDAR has two parts. What are those two parts? One is emission and second is reception or detection. So to narrate something about emission, I have given you the example of photodiode, LED, ILD, and a semiconductor device which can generate photons by receiving those photons. That is an example of light matter interaction, but that is in trans direction. Now I want to see something about receive direction. What actually is happening in receive direction? Let us see. This is beautiful example I have taken how you are able to receive those photons and what is consecutive effect of the photons received, and it gets converted into current, and then current will be able to drive any of the electronic device. I have taken an example of a human eye. Basically, you are already aware that photons are there in natural light. So whenever these photons fall on an object, they either reflect, refract, diffract, disperse, attenuate, transmit. These all terms come into scatter. These all terms come into picture. So right now I assume that being a final year student, you are already aware about these phenomena. If anyone who is not aware about these terms which I am using, you can note down, reflection, refraction, diffraction, dispersion, attenuation, transmission, amplification, scattering, diffraction. So these are the terms I will be using frequently when I talk about light communication. Anyone who is not aware about these terms, they should make them aware. Maybe you can Google or you read these books based on those. These are the common terms. I presume that in communication, communication was a subject to you. These all terms have been used: sensitivity, selectivity, gain. These are all parameters which are being used, SNR, used in any of the communication device, communication system, and communication theory is already taught to you. So based on those input parameters, today I will be discussing about LIDAR. Again I will say, today my talk is very important as far as optical device is concerned, so that we can further go in detail in optical communication. So detector part I am talking right now. So for detector, I am taking the retinal implant optical antenna as a device. So here the photons which get reflected from the natural object will come to eye, our eye. So the eye will be able to receive those reflected photons from the nature. How these are detected and converted into electronic current will be talked about this futuristic retinal implant optical antennas. So here you are able to see that the photons will come to eye. The human eye has lens, then cornea, and after that spherical white material, you will find that there is a this sort of device in our retina. This sort of device, it's nothing but a quantum antenna which is of dimensions of 1 micron by 5 micron. So it is in cylindrical nature and similar the conical nature. These are in millions in the counting. So the photon received by this cylindrical nature, it has 10 layers. So number of incident photons are 500 photons micrometer per second. 10 layers are there. It means whenever the photon hits first layer, second layer, third layer, fourth layer, it is nothing but different sort of lenses. It is just forming 10 layers, so that each layer has its own permittivity of material. So accordingly, reflection, refraction, scattering, these all phenomena will take inside this. So ultimately it is going to generate a gated potential. So input was photon, output is gated potential. Now these cylindrical devices, these are known as rods. These rods are positioned in periphery of the retina. At similar size, the cone devices of similar 10 layers are available at retina, but these are center, not at periphery, these are center. So these cones devices, they are responsible to generate colors like RBG. Different colors are there. So depending on, like green color LED, green color has 500 nanometer wavelength, so they will respond to that particular color. So cones present at center. So these cones are responsible to response for the colors, whereas these are the cylinders, rods of cylindrical nature. They are at periphery, 120 millions. So you can just imagine, each cone is responsible for one photon. Each rod is responsible to respond for one photon, one photon received. Now they will get converted, each photon will get converted because of this membrane cells lined with rhodopsin, then mitochondria, inner segment, outer segment, outer limiting membrane. Though we are not interested about these membrane, but ultimately how your photon is received by this cylindrical device, which consists of 10 layers, and converting these photons into gated potential. If you see here, they are able to give you gated potential. So this gated potential value is 10 millivolt to 70 millivolt. Now there are 120 million such cylinders. They, each cylinder will be able to produce you 10 millivolt to 70 millivolt. They are connected like an array. Now incident power to this particular cylinder is 7 milliwatt from the nature by reflection. Now these 7 milliwatt will get converted into 10 millivolt by each cell or each rod. Now there are 120 millions. So summation of these 120 million rods will be the potential generated. So total gated potential will be summation of these. These can be termed as array of rods. So these array of rods will get converted into gated potential. These gated potentials can be termed as neurons. Again I say neurons are gated potentials. So these neurons, these are also known as, these cones and rods are also known as photoreceptors. So these neurons will travel into optic or one sort of optical cable, natural, or it is known as optic nerve. So you can just see these optic nerves will be able to accommodate the signals of 120 million rods and more than 5 million cones. You can just imagine a network of optics. So these are embedded, you can say embedded optics. When I say embedded optics, it means it is a network of optical systems. Now again a new term will come into the picture, that is NOC. If you see, this word is already available, network on chip. There is another term SOC, system on chip. Now if you want to get a placement, these are the burning topics: IoT, artificial intelligence, machine learning, robotics, network on chip, system on chip. If you are able to do some project on these, I think there is no deficiency of the jobs available in a real world, because lot of people, they are working on IoTs, they are working on artificial intelligence, they are working on machine learning, they are working on robotics, because this is the demand of a present era. Now taking NOC as one topic, network on chip. So human eye, human vision system is one of the excellent examples of NOC, because the signals of 120 millions rods, signals received by 5 million cones will travel to optical nerve. So optical nerve is nothing but network of optical cables. I'll not say here cables because these are given by nature. That is why it is termed as optic nerves. So this optical nerve is able to respond to 125 million rods and approximately 5 million cones simultaneously. The signal will go in terms of neurons or gated potential and will go to it will travel to brain. Now brain, these signals will be able to get converted into neurons. As I said, the neurons are nothing but set of these electron and positrons in a well. So huge number of electron and positrons will be able to accommodate in a well. This well I termed as a pixel. So these gated potential will convert into one single pixel. So in brain, these pixels will get accumulated in matrix form. So this matrix is formed in the brain. Now you can just imagine the photon reflected from the surface or from any of the natural object has been converted into pixel, and these pixels are stored in terms of matrix. It means a image is formed. It means a image is formed by a square matrix, maybe 1082. If you switch on your TV, you find that video of 1082 pixels, 1082 by 1082 pixels. So now you can just imagine how many pixels will be there in the brain for each object which has been seen our eye. This is true phenomena, real time phenomena. And what will be the excellent rate of collection of these photons, conversion of these photons into the pixels? So now it means a beautiful optics is taking place in our human eye. This is an excellent example of optic device which I have collected from the nature. Fine. Now I'll be making, so this is nothing but a detector, a light detector, which takes place. Our human eye is not emitting these photons, but it is only receiving these photons and responding. Whereas the the reverse process takes place in laser, or in laser diode, or in photodiode, or in ILD, or in LED. Now I feel that you must have received how a detector or photo detector is working. So for that, to make you understand how a photo detector is working, I have given an example of retinal photo receptors. Now what is utility? This is one electronic device which operates at optics. I have given you. I have taken real example. Now what is the utility of this particular? The utility of this, those who want to work on the project of retinal prosthesis, they are most welcome. They can work on these projects. So utility, in old days, what happens, these retinous pigments get decreased, and because of these retinous pigment, they are not able to produce gated potential, sufficient gated potentials. These gated potentials are nothing but neurons. It means there will be a lack of neuron generations in old age. It means they will not be able to form a image of that. Maybe few these rods and cones may be working, and few may be getting damaged because of old age in human being. It means they will not be able to view as clear as in the young age. It means this disease is known as muscular degenerations. So because of degenerations, they are not able to view the objects in the nature as clear as they were able to view in young age. So what you can do in this way, it means if you can repair those photo receptors, if you can repair those cones and rods, it means those old people, they will be able to view or they will be able to regain their eyesight. That is possible. So in worldwide, the research, this has become a research area. People are taking lot of project on these photoreceptors. They want to develop artificial photoreceptors because the material science is available now. You are having capability to develop artificial materials by making use of metamaterial science. If you are able to develop metamaterials, it means you will be able to develop photoreceptors. If you are able to develop a single photoreceptor, you will be able to develop array of photoreceptors. If you are able to develop array of photoreceptors and you are able to mimic those array of photoreceptors in configuration of human retinal science, human retinal natural or biomedical science, you will be able to introduce a artificial gated potential. If you are able to introduce a artificial gated potential, you will be able to generate required or desired quantity of neurons. If you are able to give required or desired amount of neurons to optic nerve will be able to travel, able to take up those required or desired quantum of gated potentials to develop a particular image. How that image will be developed? Because those many pixels will be able to generate, which are required for human eye to visualize it clearly, because the number of pixels will give you a particular decision that what should be the resolution. You are already aware the resolution of the image will depend on number of pixels. The number of pixels will be depending on the wells. The wells are nothing but deposition of electron and positron. So this is a science. It means you are able to give a shape of artificial electronic eye. People are working on this, that they must be able to develop a electronic eye. Electronic eye in other sense can be named as eye prosthesis. So there is a conjunction, there is a amalgamation of retina and brain. If you are able to generate a amalgamation, a beautiful interface, you will be able to support these people who are in old age, who have lost their eyesight or who have deteriorated their eyesight. They will be able to regain their eyesight as it was in the young age. So this is a excellent example of optic device. Fine. Now, to develop a optical device, I have given you a example of detection, light detector. Fine. Now we will see that how this particular process or how this particular optical device can be used in LIDAR, because my today's topic is LIDAR. But to make you understand the detect part of LIDAR, I have taken an example of retina, so that you can understand the concept of detection, light detection. Because in LIDAR, light, imaging, detection and ranging, these all process takes place. Now I want to show you one more thing in this. As I said that our retina has cylindrical rods. These rods are of cylindrical shape, which are in periphery. So peripheral vision is developed by cylindrical rods, and there are 5 million cones. Cones are making central vision. They are located at central part of the retina. I have tried to mimic that central part by making use of MIMO of conical DRAs. So I have taken conical DRA. If you see this example, I have taken single cone of the retinal cone size and then simulate it at that value frequency, so that I am able to develop a single element of cone. However, there are 5 million cones. If I am able to mimic one cone, I will be able to interface those 5 million cones at the later stage. So I have started from one, simulated, I have connected two, simulated, and likewise I will proceed further. So this is a project I am working on. So this is conical in nature. I have also developed cylindrical. Let me see. This is cylindrical DRA. I have made use of silicon and then simulated. I have connected two cylindrical DRAs and then expected some gated potential. These gated potential will be connected to fiber optic nerve, and then we try to mimic. In case of that way we can see. Now similarly I have developed the cylindrical because spherical nature of DRAs, which can mimic your white color humor, vitreous humor is there. So complete retinal processes we are going to devise. Now I have received a message from Siddhi. She says some other class is there or time is there. Siddhi, what do you want to convey? Hello.